Hello everyone, part number 13. So what we're gonna build today is gonna be designing stuff and other navigation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add here the little icon, so the little pencil here for the icon. And after that, when we're gonna click that, that's gonna open the model right there. And that's gonna give us the place where we're gonna do the tweet. So here that's gonna be just headers where we're gonna not headers but a model where we're gonna create the own headers where the tweet here is gonna be the button when we submit, and here we can see the number of character the people is writing, and so this way we're gonna disable the tweet if after 140 and not disable but make it work and don't go over 140. So this is what we're gonna do today. So first off, we're gonna create the headers here. So we're gonna do a baby step. So if we go inside navigation file, this is where we're gonna add this this button. So what we want is finally we just want inside the home screen, we want to add this icon. So what we're gonna do finally is we're gonna first thing we need to have another screen first, and also after that inside the home here where we have the header left, we're gonna put a header right. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna change a bit what we did in the last episode. So what I mean by that, it's here the header avatar. We have some design here, and this design can have been done inside its own file. So what I mean by that is we're gonna just make finally a component with smart. So we're gonna create a button headers, and you're gonna see what I mean. It's because what I mean by that, it's here we have the header avatar where we have the button. We create a button and it's designed it, and we have it pretty like good. We don't want to recopy the code. I'm a lazy coder. I want you to be a lazy coder. I don't want you to repeat yourself. So what we're gonna do is finally we're gonna take off this button right there. We're gonna go there and we're gonna paste it here. So what are we gonna do here after that? It's we're gonna import React only. We're gonna import style component from React Native, and we're gonna import a touchable library from AppFlow touchable. Now, with that we're gonna create a function called button header, and this one gonna have 3 props. We're gonna destructuring them. One of them are gonna be side, one of them are gonna be children, and one of them are gonna be unpressed. So I'm gonna put the one we were supposed to know right now is we're gonna put the button. The first one's gonna be the children. So what is a children? The children, it's always what you put inside another component. So example, my button here, the children of my button is gonna be loading. So the children component, the children props become the component you have inside. Perfect. The onPress is gonna be the function onPress. So now we can just add onPress here. And also here, I just see we have when it's disabled. So when it's disabled, we're gonna say disable, disable. So now what is this side? So it's gonna be pretty easy to understand. We have 2 sides. We're gonna have button here or a button here. So side left, side right. So you see, you're gonna understand right there. I'm gonna say margin right, and I'm gonna say if my props that side equal right, I'm gonna say give me 15 or 0. And finally, I'm gonna copy paste that. I'm gonna remove margin left. I'm gonna just make it here. And I'm gonna say if this is left, the other side. So now I can pass the side by doing this. So now, for see if that's gonna work, I'm gonna take the button header here. I'm gonna import here right there. Now I'm gonna replace my button here and my button here, and I'm gonna just put side. So it's in the left. So left, side, left. And now if I do this, sorry, it's loading. Really long. I don't know why. Did I crash my okay, so I make a typo. it's margin left. Yeah. Now still work. Perfect. So now we can clean the header avatar. So now we can clean the header avatar by cleaning that. We don't need that anymore. We can remove the touchable library here. So now we're good. We did the button left. Perfect. So now, not the button left, but the button headers. So now what we can do, it's finally jump inside the app, and now we're gonna put the button here. So we're gonna jump back on the navigation. We're gonna here import. I can Shift Command D here, or Shift Control D for you if you use Windows, and do button headers. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump on the home inside the app main nav, and I'm gonna say header right equal a component called button header, where this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say side of right, and now I need to put the icon here. And because I've done my search, the only thing we need is simple line icon here inside the export vector icon, and just add here right there. So now we're gonna have the icon. The only thing we need to do is say the color. So we're gonna use the color, that primary, so the blue color of Twitter. We're gonna say a size of 20, and we're gonna say name of pencil. Remember, I did the search that was by doing inside the expo vector icon file. And now if you see, we get the button. So now this button is gonna both have the same kind of the margin from both sides. So this one have the 15 here, and this one have 15 here. So that's perfect. And plus, we gave access to the hit slope, who gave us the 20 each side. So we see here, I don't copy paste this, not copy paste, but I don't copy the same code. We keep the code dry. This is really important here. So now what we're gonna do? So now I want to open this model by clicking here. First thing, it's better to create the screen. So we're gonna say new tweet screen.js. And now, just for getting started, I'm gonna just go to my Explorer. I'm gonna copy paste this thing. I'm gonna go to my new tweet, and I'm gonna just change this one by doing Command D, so that select both name. And now I'm gonna just say that here and put that here, just for make something really quick. Now I'm gonna jump back on my navigation. I'm gonna do Shift Command D here to just copy paste the same line at the bottom, and I'm gonna say by doing Command D, new tweet screen. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create finally another stack navigator right here before this one. I'm gonna say const new tweet model equal stack navigator. Yeah, this one. Now inside this one, I'm gonna say, yeah, it's better if I go the other way. Yeah, I'm gonna say new tweet, so that's gonna be the name of the screen. I'm gonna say screen equal to new tweet screen, and now I'm gonna keep it like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump after that inside my home app nav, and I'm gonna say right there new tweet with the screen equal to this new tweet model. But now I need to toggle this thing. I mean, right now we don't toggle the thing. So now what we can do is here inside the app main navigator, we're gonna destructuring the navigation props we get by default because we are inside a stack navigator. And I'm gonna say inside my button header, I'm gonna say on press function, where that's gonna be an arrow function because we need to call that by clicking. And after that, I'm gonna say navigate, and now we just need to put the name of the screen called new tweet. By doing this now, if everything is working, if I click here, that's gonna open my new tweet screen. Oh, what the? You know what I want to me? What just happening? I struggle so much with this thing, so that's why I want you to see where I get stuck. So here, first thing, so this is a stack navigator. So we have a stack navigator inside another stack navigator. So because of this, we become with two headers. So one of the things we can do for that, it's here, go there, and we're gonna add finally one sec. I think it's here. I'm gonna say right there, I'm gonna say header mode, and I'm gonna say none. We're gonna just remove the headers for us. So if I do this, I don't have any more headers, so that's perfect. We did one little thing. But now this is not really what I want, and how we can manage that, it's first thing, it's by designing this component. We're gonna design the component, we're gonna check after what we can build. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump on the new tweet component, and we're gonna create the designing stuff of the header, not the header, but of the screen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go inside my new tweet screen, and we're gonna finally create the stuff. So first thing is the root. The root, we're gonna change that a bit. We're gonna just say, so that's gonna stay a view, but now we're gonna put a background colors equal to the props that theme. If you remember, props that theme, and we're gonna say white. I want the background to be white. After that, what I want is to be flex one. I want to take the full space, and I want also to align all my item in the center. Remember, align item in this way is going to be left to the right. So now if I click on this thing, we just get that, and you see now is get to the left, to the right. So now we have a beautiful white screen, but with nothing inside that. So now if we check at the designing, so we don't gonna care about this thing right now, but we're gonna just manage this like input wrapper and stuff like that. So here, what I want finally to do is to get like a wrapper here where I can get all my stuff here. Finally, I don't want to take the full width. I want to have some padding from the left and the right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna create a wrapper component who's gonna be finally another view. And in this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say a height of 80%. I'm gonna say give me a width of 90%. So I'm gonna 5% from each side who's don't gonna have the wrapper. I'm gonna say padding top 5. I'm gonna keep it like that, and I'm gonna just wrap my tweet text right there. And for seeing that, I'm gonna set background color of red. Okay, I did wrong. Semicolon, not colon. So now you see we get the wrapper. Like this is what I say. It's now we get 90%. So we have 5% from each side. We don't gonna have the wrapper. So this is one good thing right now. So now it's time to build the input we're gonna put in that because yes, that's gonna be an input. We take almost all the space. So the input is gonna be pretty much the full amount of stuff. So for now, I'm gonna maybe put a less color, so pink is gonna be a bit less flashy. Then I'm gonna sequence input equal style that text input like that. So now I want to have my input. I'm gonna see inside this one, I want him to have the height of 40% of his parent, and I want to have the width of 100%. So you're gonna take finally 90% of all the screen. Also, what I want is I want to have a font size of 18. So that's gonna be the font size of the tweet when the user type it, and we're gonna add the colors for the text color, and we're gonna just put the secondary color. Just keep the thing constant. So now I'm gonna take this input and I'm gonna make it here like that. Now I'm gonna save, and now what I'm gonna get, it's now I have my input. Now I don't see nothing, but my input is right there. So as you can see, this is my input who is there. So now we're gonna add some attribute, and we can do this really easy by doing that inside style component right there, by adding that attribute and add this thing here. First thing is I want that to be multi-line, because right now I type everything and all in the same line. So all I can do this is just by saying multi-line true. So as you know, I really like to show you everything about the code. So now if I type and I click enter, I can go multi-line. So now you see this is the maximum height. Why? Because I see 40% of the parent. So this is 100% of the parent. 50% gonna be there, and the 10% less gave us the 40. So perfect. So we don't gonna go more down than this. Perfect. But now what I also want is I want to add a max length, because I don't want to be able to type more than 140 character. So if I add 140 and I click, now I'm gonna type, and when I'm gonna get 140, now you see I type but nothing happened. I can remove and I can type again, but I cannot type more. Perfect. So we have one thing built. This is good. So this is a really cool feature we can do. After that, I want to change the selection color. So for doing this, I'm gonna need to import my color variable coming from my util folder constant. Now what I'm gonna say, it's right there. And I'm also gonna need one other thing. It's because we cannot add a selection color like that with Android, so we need to have the platform here. So here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say selection color equal if platform.os equal iOS, I want the color to be color.primary, like that. So now if I do this, now this color, as you can see, it's the Twitter color blue. Now I think it's time to remove the ping. I don't want to let them to my user. So now if I type, perfect. Now another thing I want to add a placeholder. I want the user know what to add here. So I'm gonna say placeholder like that, and I'm gonna say like what Twitter says. So it's what's we need to escape this one. What's happening? Maybe no, it's what's happening, like that. Now if I do this, boom, we get this one here. That's it. We have the thing we want right there. So now if we check, it's almost, yeah, it's pretty much the same. This thing here, it's bigger, yeah. So now we have the what's happening stuff. We have the text input. We can, oh, not here, but I can type in my text. And then when I select, it's the beautiful blue I want. And I want to let the first letter uppercase, and I want also let the auto correction. So if I say hello world like that, hello world, you see what I mean? It's hello world, yeah. So now I can do like that. So I want to keep that for my user. Perfect, we did one of the things we need to do. Second thing, it's I want that to be focused at the beginning, because I need to have the keyboard open when I go to the screen. Because right now, if I do this, this is what happened. But I want the keyboard to come right when I click. So, man, that's so easy. You go there, you add auto focus, and we see true. So when the component mount, we're gonna auto focus this one. And now if I click, boom, that's it. And now, yes, I have a little bug here. What just happening here? It's because when I go back, the keyboard go down after we finally remove it. So what we can do, it's taking the keyboard. I'm not sure if I can do this in the wheel unmount, but I can say keyboard that dismiss. Just for seeing if that's gonna work. I go there and I click on, and now you see, what happened? Yes, is it this thing? It's the wheel mount came before the React navigation, came after the React navigation back. So we're gonna need to manage that after. Like I say, it's baby step. I just see that just for that you know this is normal. If you don't know how to open the keyboard here, you just do Command K. So that open the keyboard, or you can just click here and you say keyboard and you say connect hardware keyboard, toggle software keyboard. Perfect. So now we did one thing. And this one right now we can already do some logic. We can just add the state of text, and we can say value equal to this that state that text, and say here the unchanged function. We're gonna create it. We're gonna say unchanged text, and this unchanged text is gonna be really a simple function like we already did. We're gonna take the text and we're gonna say this that set state text. Key value the same. We can keep it like that. Perfect. So now I can remove this. I don't need that. So now what we need to build. So we have that, and we need to finish with that. So I think now it's time to do the little tweet button at the bottom. So how we can do this is by creating a tweet button component, who's going to be a style of touchable. Why I'm going to need to import it. And this one we can already add some attribute because we need that with my library touchable here. We need to add feedback, and I'm going to say opacity. and now we are here. And also I'm gonna add another it slot because like I say, we need to manage the one who have big finger, so we don't want them to click like 20 times. So top 20, left 20, right 20, and maybe button 20. Yeah, we're gonna take 20 space more than the space it takes. So background color is gonna be an easy one. We're gonna add the props that theme that primary, so the color of Twitter. Also, after that, we need to have just file contain. We need to have the text right in the center. So this is the thing you're supposed to know at this point. I want to have a width of 80, and I also want to have a height of 40. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna take this tweet button and I'm gonna put that right there inside my wrapper. So, but now I need to put some text inside that. So I'm gonna say const tweet button text equal style that text, and I'm gonna say color equal to my props theme that white, and I'm gonna say a font size of 16, and I'm gonna put this tweet button text right there, and I'm gonna say tweet like that. So now if we check, okay, so first thing, it's not on the right side, and second thing, it's not this border radius here. So I need to put some border radius. So we're gonna say border radius of 20. So that's gonna make it a bit circle. And now we need to manage the position, because now it's in the left and this is the right. And we know this position gonna always stay there, and we always want them to be a little bit at the top here. So what we can do is add this as a position absolute. And if we do this, we need to put a position relative on the wrapper. So now if I say position absolute, the thing gonna happen, it's now we're gonna get over, typo. If I do this, now I'm gonna get that over everything, because now you get at the top left always when you get that from each parent. So now what we can say is I want him to have the top of 60% from the top. And I also want them to be right 0. So this new keyboard, yeah, 0. By doing this, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be at a 60% from the top. And when I say right 0, if you remember the wrapper, remove 5% from the right and the left. So you see, I touch 0 from the right, and I'm 60% from the top. And the top, I mean from here. So you see, so right there, we get something pretty good. So now what we left to do is the text length here. So for doing that, we're gonna create another component. I'm gonna call that, text length equal style that text. And this one, we're gonna have a font size of 18, and I also have a color equal to the famous blue color we use from the beginning, primary color. And now I'm gonna take this text length, I'm gonna make it right there, not inside the tweet button, sorry. That here, and I'm gonna say 140. Okay, again the same thing. So the same thing happened. Not yet, but now we need to change the position. So if I say absolute, I want you to understand when we say absolute, now we're gonna get at the top left of his parent. So by doing this, we get the text here. So now what we can manage from this one, it's now we know this one is top 60%, and I want them to be a little topper this one. So I'm gonna say 45%. I'm gonna be 15% top from this one, and I'm gonna say I want to be at the right 5%. I'm gonna see why. So by doing this, I get here right there. Why I say 5%? Just because if not, I'm gonna be right at this point. and I just want them to be a little bit better position. So now I want this text to change with the length of this stuff here, this text we write. So what we can do, it's really easy. We can say right there, or maybe not right there, but I'm gonna create a get function here called get text length, who's gonna be a function. Who finally, what we're gonna return here, we're gonna return 140. So this is the length, and minus this that say that text. So what we can do right there, it's say this that text length. I'm gonna just put an underscore because I always put an underscore when I'm inside my class, and this is my function. So now by doing that, now I get 140, and now if I type, I get not a number, because this that state that text, it's not good, it's the length. Sorry. What happened is we try to minus a number from a string. So now if I type, what happened? What happened? Now we get not a number. Try again. So we get not a number. What I did wrong? Something I need to call it so that get. Yeah, I don't need. So one sec, what I'm gonna do is here I'm gonna console log my text length and see what happened. And I'm gonna open my debugger. So now I get 0. So looks like, oh, I know why. Unchanged, too much web maybe, unchanged text. Sorry, that's why. You see, that's why we need to debug sometime. If I remove that. Perfect. So now you see, the get happened, and now we go down. Because now it's laggy because we have the text input would take not the text input but the debugger too much performance. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna start to type, and now you see you go down and follow the length of the user. So now if I type, and boom, now I cannot do any more stuff. Perfect. So now we did that. It's a really good thing we did right now. So now what we can manage is the header now. So now we need to figure out how we're gonna manage this thing. So it's gonna be pretty easy because we don't really need to do nothing here. So what we're gonna do is go back to the navigation file, and what we're gonna add is we're gonna add some value inside the navigation option of the tweet model right there. So the first thing we're gonna say here, we're gonna say navigation option. It's gonna be a function like that, and this one we're gonna say header left. We're gonna say header avatar, the same thing. By doing this now, so we're gonna go one at a time. By doing this now, you see what happened? It's now that go over the last one. So just for showing you back. So you see what happened? It's now you go over the other one. So now here what I can say too is I'm gonna say header right because I want to put the X. I'm gonna say button headers. And now I'm gonna make use of evil icon because I want this little X here. I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna say evil icon. We'll finally have a color of that primary. Size, we're gonna say 25 because they are evil icon are really small, and we're gonna say close. By doing this now, we get here there. now what happened? I forget to put the side, so we're gonna say side of right, so that's why we don't have margin. Boom, so now we get that, but now I want, when I click here, to get back. So what we can do is add the navigation props here, and now the structuring here, and now do an unpress even, or we're gonna call an arrow function, and I'm gonna say navigation that go back, and we pass it null to make sure we close the model, and not null inside a string, but just null. So now if I do this, I can open that and I can close it. But now look what happened. The keyboard closed after. So what we can do is just add a curly bracket here and add that here. And what we can do, it's called the keyboard dismissed before. So what we can do, it's inside, not here, but inside React Native keyboard. Now what I can do right here, it's calling the keyboard that dismissed right before. So now you're gonna see what happened. If I do this, open, my keyboard is open, and now if I close it, what do you think about that? It sounds good. I hope you learn a bit, because I mean I learned a lot doing this, just this part, and I really want you to be to know now how to work with this thing. So now what we're gonna do in the next episode is, because we have done this, is we're gonna just make use of create the tweet. When I click the tweet, I want to make sure we can create the tweet, and I want, when I create the tweet appear became right there, right after at the top, by doing optimistic UI. Because if you don't do optimistic UI, it's pretty easy in localhost to get like a less than 100 millisecond render. But the thing, it's in real world, when you're gonna push to maybe something like Heroku and you don't want to pay for your server a lot, that's gonna take maybe a lot of some time. So we're gonna make use of the optimistic UI. So I hope you enjoy. So please subscribe if you didn't, like, and let me know in the comment how you feel about this episode. And I hope you're gonna have a good day. Bye.